Hello again, RoyZesch.REALTOR here with Coldwell Banker Legacy in San Angelo. Today I want to finish up my series on the counties around us, around Concho Valley. I want to talk about Sutton County. Sutton County, the county seat Sonora, and really Sonora is about the only town in the county. Not much of anything else as far as cities. You have lovely I-10 running through the middle of it, which is nice. You have easy access to San Antonio or El Paso, whichever way you want to go. So that's one of the interesting features that's unique in our area, because we just don't have much interstates through the rest of the Concho Valley. So topography. Sutton County, starts off, we talked about from the divide where it comes in from Schlacker County, it kind of drops off in some canyons and stuff. And there's a good bit of variation in Sutton County. There's a lot of places that you have mesquite flats, that you have some pretty live oak trees. There's really some big areas. And the tendency is for the prettier stuff to be more toward the eastern end of the county. Again, we've talked about, the rainfall varies pretty substantially with east or west in this part of the country. So you tend to get some really pretty ranches and stuff toward the eastern end of the county. You actually even get the beginnings of the Llano River in that area, so right toward the very eastern edge. So there can be some really pretty stuff in through there. There's some other stuff. There's a lot of cedar country in Sutton County. Tends to be a little more toward the west, but it varies. And there's some areas that have some pretty big canyons and stuff. There's some draws, but down through the southern end of the county that end up forming into the Dry Devils River and stuff like that. There's, as you might guess from the name, there's not generally much water in any of that, other than right when it's raining. I mean, it tends to be flash flood type areas. They get a lot of water in them, and then it goes down afterwards. Toward the south, as you're heading toward Del Rio, you do start to get some little bit bigger elevation changes and stuff like that. And again, really pretty, kind of just depending on exactly what you're looking for. The western half-ish of the county tends to have a fair amount of oil activities. Not a lot in the eastern, but some. There's a lot of it is really old oil activities, some old stripper wells there, dated back many years, and then there is a little bit of newer activity. You start to get some oil industries and stuff in around Sonora, so you see a little bit of activity from that, which affects the schools, and positively and negatively, obviously in both cases. So there is the financial part of it. The schools tend to have a little bit better tax base because of the oil activity, so that helps them be able to do some things that some other places are not able to do. Sonora has a history of having a really good football team. One of those things, as long as I can remember, 30, 40 years that I can remember clearly, Sonora's always had a pretty good football team. So if that's important to you, Sutton County is certainly worth a look just for that stuff. Just a matter, again, of finding the priorities that fit you. Sonora's a nice town, has some variations in population over the years depending on how healthy the oil market is. So see some of that. There's some oil field service company jobs and some of that takes up a lot of the activity down there. There's some people that in the area that have had mineral interests for years. So there's some money, some larger landowners and stuff that have pretty large capital set up, and a lot of it's in land. But so a lot of stuff doesn't come up for sale, particularly in that western half of the county that has the oil activity, but sometimes it does. Sometimes the surface gets sold in that area. So some interesting parts about it. Again, we've talked about not a lot of surface water at all. It's basically it's getting pretty arid through most of the county, and there's the draws and stuff that start to build up. So you do get something there, but it's again flash floody type stuff. It comes up, gets big, tears out the fences when you get a big rain, and then it dries out in a few days or weeks depending on how big the rain was. Underground water, again, in a lot of West Texas, there's a good bit of variance. There's places that there is pretty good supplies of underground water. You can drill wells pretty easily. There's other places it's a lot more difficult. So again, you just want to be very cautious getting into that and figure out what your water requirements are and what you're able to find where you are. There are places, a good many number of places for sale, some really nice and large places for sale in Sutton County right now, and come on and off the market. So some really, again, pretty areas as you get into that eastern end of the county. And even the western, if the little bit bigger canyons and stuff, and the cedar country is what you're looking for, there's a lot of that available. So it's a matter of finding out what you're looking for and seeing if Sutton County fits what you need. More questions, just give me a call, 325-268-0775, RoyZesch.REALTOR.